Hey guys, HDvee here, and welcome to a brand new video. Today we've got some pretty cool things to go over. Some new potential Generation 10 leaks have dropped. We have some new Nintendo Direct rumors as well to go over, new Pokemon events, and also a Q&A kind of update from that Nintendo investor meeting we had last week. Loads of things to break down today though, so if you're excited for the video, drop a like down below, leave a comment, subscribe if you're brand new, and let's get into the video. So, starting things off, let's go over a couple of brand new Pokemon Go events that have recently been announced. We have HDvee here tweeting out saying, HDvee update, the Pokemon Go Hisui Celebration event has been announced. It adds Hisui and Zorua into the game. It runs from the 8th of July to the 13th of July. So this is an event all around Hisuian Pokemon like Hisuian Voltorb, Hisuian Quillfish, and it also adds Hisuian Zorua into the game, which is a really cool Pokemon. Normal ghost, fantastic design, all that good stuff. And then as well as that, we have another new Pokemon Go event as well, introducing another new Pokemon into the game. We've got HDvee here tweeting out saying, HDvee update, the Pokemon Go Water Festival event has been revealed. This runs from the 15th of July at 10 AM to July the 20th at 8 PM local time. This adds Tatsugiri into the game, and there's a bit more information about this on the Pokemon Go website as well. So Tatsugiri only pops up in certain areas. So the curly form pops up in Europe, Middle East, and Africa. The droopy form pops up in the Americas, and then the stretchy form appears in Asia Pacific regions. For the event bonuses, Rainy Lure modules will last for 2 hours. Increased candy for nice throws or better, increased chance to encounter Shiny Staryu and Shiny Tortuga, and then Lapras wearing a scarf caught from raids may have a seasonal special background. And then these Pokemon will be appearing more frequently in the wild, so Squirtle, Slowpoke, Krabby, Staryu, Magikarp, Marill, Barbroach, Clamperl, Weasel, Finneon, and Wimpod, Lantern, Feebas, Palpatine, Tortuga, and then 1-star raids, 3-star raids, you can see all of them there. That's where you're going to get your different forms of Tatsugiri depending on where you are. But yeah, that is the Water Festival event for Pokemon Go, as well as the Hisuian Festival as well. Moving on, let's talk Generation 10 leak updates. So we have Centro Leagues here posting something very vague, but apparently it's something to do with Generation 10. Again, Centro Leagues very hit and miss with when they post things. Obviously just recently got the Mega Feraligatr wrong, but they have come out with a new Generation 10 kind of mini leak. So they posted saying Generation 7 Chicken Chan, and then they said Generation 10 Jellyfish Chan, and that's all they've posted. So it looks like they're referencing a character with this kind of tweet. Some people think it's going to be the female main character. Again, it's very vague information to go off. They don't really give a lot of information from this post here. Just vague enough to get people talking. But again, when anyone hears anything about Generation 10, it gets people excited because obviously it's going to be such a big Pokemon game. We do have a couple of other people talking about this as well. Moot, who of course also has, you know, it's not even really a good track record because they posted some things. It was wrong, and no one's really said anything about it. But yeah, obviously they said the next Legend ZA trailer I think was soon, which was back in like May or June, and then they also said the cover art was going to have Zygarde 10% form on it, which was also wrong. But anyway, they quote retweeted this saying, for those confused, he's talking about the female main character. So again, you can take all this with a massive grain of salt. I mean, Moot at this point doesn't really have a track record because they've only said things that have been wrong so far, and then like I say, Centro also doesn't have a great track record as well. They've both been posting these things. We have Hidden Power and also Soul Silver are kind of talking about this as well, saying new rumored Generation 10 details. So claiming a Generation 10 player character could have clothing or features that resemble a jellyfish in the same way the Generation 7 female character had a player character with a hat that resembled a chicken. So again, very minute details really, that they're just kind of giving small details about the female character. So I assume if this is true, they have seen what the female protagonist is going to look like, and then they've just given a tiny bit of information about it. We have Soul Silver talking about this as well, saying, I'm actually more excited about this than ZA right now, but always take these Pokemon leaks with a grain of salt. Probably just code names, at most nicknames for the female character, could mean nothing. What's interesting is that Generation 7 and Generation 10 are the gens mentioned. I mean, that could also just something be to do with the fact that they're both based on multiple islands. Like, Alola is based on multiple islands. Generation 10 is going to be an archipelago of islands. That could also be the thing that kind of combines these two together. Maybe the female main character has something jellyfish-looking about her, maybe the hair. But again, pure speculation for fun. So yeah, this is obviously what it's referencing to here. So it could also just be about the female main character's hat, since this hat was called a chicken hat by the fans, and that's what Centro could be referring to here instead of a code name, if this is even to be believed. So yeah, I mean, this is what the female character looks like in Alola. The female character in Gaia is just gonna have a jellyfish hat instead, so probably just like long arms coming off it or something like that. I don't really know. Like I say, very, very minute details for Generation 10 right now, but it is something to talk about. It's speculation at the end of the day. Let me know your thoughts on it. I mean, there's not really a lot to really go off. It's just potentially what the female character's hat's gonna be, so it's not even really anything, but it's still, I guess, very, very small. But let me know your thoughts about that anyway. Hopefully we get a Generation 10 announcement relatively soon, but it's probably going to be Pokemon Day regardless. Moving on, we have a couple of updates to go over about Nintendo and the Nintendo Switch 2 from the Q&A investor meeting that I think was last week. The first one, posted by Go Nintendo Tweet, says Nintendo recognizes rising dev costs and risks in gaming. Discuss how they plan to combat the situation. So pay to play. So during its 85th annual general meeting of shareholders, Nintendo was asked about the rising costs in game development due to development time, team size, game scale, and more. Nintendo President Shuntaro Furukawa took the question head-on and explained numerous ways in which Nintendo intends to combat these risks and costly endeavors. So the question was, I'm concerned that if the improved performance of the Nintendo Switch 2 causes game development costs to rise, the price of game software will rise, which has ultimately led to a decrease in the number of people who play games. I would like to know what measures will be taken. And then Furukawa said, game software development has become larger in scale and longer in duration in recent years, which has resulted in rising development costs. The game business is inherently a high-risk business, but we recognize that rising development costs have made the risks even higher. Our development team is trying various ideas to find ways to maintain the traditional production style even as game software development becomes longer and larger. We believe that it is important to develop it as efficiently as possible while making the necessary investments. We also believe that it is possible to develop game software that will make consumers think. That's an interesting idea, even in a short development period. We believe that this could be one way to address concerns that development costs and game software prices are only increasing, so we will continue to consider this from various angles within the company. I mean, at the end of the day, Nintendo rose it themselves. Like, they rose the bar. They brought out all these games and consoles and whatever for the Nintendo Switch 2 anyway, that were a lot more expensive than other kind of games. Not the console itself, but the games were definitely a lot more expensive. And now we've seen like PlayStation and Xbox kind of rise their prices as well. So they definitely led the line in regards to raising prices. But I don't know. That's just an update regarding how they're going to kind of combat that situation. Moving on, we have another update to go over regarding the Nintendo Switch 2. We have Go Nintendo Tweet here posting, saying Nintendo is aiming for the Nintendo Switch 2 to have a long life just like the Nintendo Switch. Reaffirms more Switch software being developed. So which Switch is for you? So during its 85th annual general meeting of shareholders, Nintendo was asked for their estimates of just how long they'll be planning to support the Nintendo Switch 2. Nintendo President Shuntaro Furukawa obviously didn't have an exact answer for that question, but made it clear that they'd like to see the platform have a life much like the Switch, so we could be seeing Switch 2 stuff for another 8 years until like 2033, which is still receiving software 8+ years after it released. Furukawa also made it clear that more games are still coming to the Switch, so even though the Switch 2 is out, the Switch still has some life left in it. So, as a company, how long do you expect to do business with the Nintendo Switch 2? So, Furukawa said the Nintendo Switch 2 has just released, so we are not yet at the stage where we can comment on its life cycle. But just like the Nintendo Switch, we aim for as many consumers as possible to enjoy it for as long as possible. You can also play Nintendo Switch software on the Nintendo Switch 2. We are still developing software for the Nintendo Switch, and many titles have already been released, so you can experience Nintendo Switch software you have never played before the first time on the Nintendo Switch 2. I think that may be the case. In fact, when we think about the Nintendo Switch, people who were in the first grade of elementary school and it was released on now in junior high school, and the longer the platform is active, the more opportunities there will be for people to pick up software. We'll also be carefully developing each title for the Nintendo Switch 2, striving to make it possible for as many people as possible to play the games. So yeah, just a couple of updates regarding the Q&A meeting. Nothing crazy came out of it, just a few Q&As like this, but either way, just some more information about the Nintendo Switch 2. Finishing things off for today's video, we have a new Nintendo Direct rumored to go over. Pretty long, quite a beefy one regarding this July Nintendo Direct that we're apparently seeing. Again, we've been talking about this a lot recently, but that's just because it's very, very likely to happen very soon. But anyway, this was posted on the 2nd of July, so a few days ago now, titled Nintendo Direct Leak, posted by Anonymous. So the date of the Direct is apparently going to be the 10th of July. So that is next Thursday. So very, very close. Which again, I think next week or the week after is quite likely because, I mean, to be fair, next week is the most likely because we have DK Bonanza on the 17th of July, and then we have a Pokemon Presents on the 22nd of July. So I don't know if they're going to drop a Direct in any of those weeks. So it's quite likely that next week is going to be when we see this Direct. So anyway, date of Direct apparently going to be the 10th. So yeah, next Thursday. And it says, Direct starts with a new trailer for Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, release date being the 19th of April 2025. So we're going back in time there. I assume this is 2026 because they've got that date completely wrong. Anyway, I assume they mean 2026. And then it goes on to say, immediately followed up by a shadow drop of Metroid Prime 2 and 3 Remastered. Which would just be like a massive kind of Metroid drop there. And these are obviously shadow dropping as well, so you'd be able to play Metroid Prime 2 and 3 remastered up to the release of Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. I feel like they've got this date wrong, man. I mean, it's got to be 2025 for Metroid, surely. But 19th of April? I mean, we're way past that. I don't know. Either way, it says, new gameplay trailer for Kirby Forgotten Land, the Switch 2 version. So again, this is obviously something that is getting worked on. And then it says, trailer for the port of Red Dead Redemption 2. This is something that's very likely to be happening. We've spoken about it in a previous video, I think. But yeah, there's a lot of sources stating we are going to see Red Dead on Nintendo Switch 2. And that is apparently coming at the end of 2025. And then also followed by a port of GTA 5 Enhanced for 2026. I mean, no one's going to be buying GTA 5 Enhanced in 2026 when GTA 6 comes out. It's just like no one's going to buy it. So, I don't know. They've already made enough versions of GTA 5, man. I don't think they need any more. And then it says trailer for Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, the Switch 2 edition, which includes DLC 1 and 2, as well as Daima DLC. Release date 18th of... They just keep swapping the release dates around. They've used the kind of... European one here being day, month, year, and now they're doing month, day, year. They keep swapping. It's just, this is really difficult to follow. Anyway, though, apparently Dragon Ball Z Kakarot's coming out on the 18th of September 2025, and that's gonna be the Switch 2 edition with the DLC and the Daima and everything like that. Which, yeah, I mean, we are likely to get Dragon Ball on the Switch 2. And it says Dragon Ball Sparkling Zero gets a new trailer showcasing the final DLC of the first season pass. And that release date is going to be on the release date of Legends EA. Crossplay is also announced. I don't think they're going to drop it on the day of Pokemon Legends EA because Pokemon Legends EA is a much... I don't want to say it's a much bigger game than Dragon Ball, but it's just Dragon Ball has already been out. Like, no one's really going to be buying that when Pokemon Legends ZA's out. Unless, obviously, you're not a Pokemon fan, obviously, but you can easily play Dragon Ball right now on a different kind of console or PC or whatever. So, yeah, apparently that's coming out on the same day as Pokemon ZA. And then it says teaser trailer for an upcoming Dragon Ball game. So a lot of Dragon Ball stuff apparently happening for Nintendo. Coming exclusively for the Nintendo Switch 2. It features a brand new character never seen before. Okay. And then the middle of the Direct is about Mario Maker 3. There's a small teaser with Wonder Style coming for Mario's 40th anniversary. And then also Clear Obscure Expedition 33 is coming to the Switch 2 for 2026. I really hope that it is, because this is a really good game. And I think a lot of people are going to enjoy it on the Nintendo Switch 2. But yeah, Mario Maker 3 and Expedition 33 also both coming to the Nintendo Switch 2. And then also Black Myth Wukong is coming to the Switch 2 as well. No release date yet. And then it says Nintendo Switch Online GBA update. So more Dragon Ball stuff. Dragon Ball Legacy of Goku 1 to Boo's Fury are coming. First game is a shadow drop. The other two are for later. So just so much Dragon Ball stuff. And then it says NSO GameCube update. Super Mario Sunshine is set to be playable at the end of July. Pokemon Coliseum coming next week. I mean, I don't know if they mean next week after the Direct or next week during the Direct. You know, one of the rumors suggested that we are going to see a shadow drop of Coliseum during this Nintendo Direct, so I guess that lines up with that. And then it says the last trailer is a brand new Star Fox game featuring mouse controls. More info during a dedicated direct at fall 2025. So, yeah, I mean, I think this is too Dragon Ball heavy to really be believable. Again, I don't think they're going to do a GTA 5 enhanced version in 2026 when GTA 6 is out. And there's other things as well, like Mario Maker 3. I just think it's very, very unlikely. I think it's just kind of a bit of a wish list. A pretty bad wish list as well. I mean, this person is clearly a Dragon Ball fan. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's just a Nintendo Direct rumor. I'd like to think we're going to see one next week because, like I say, Bonanza's out on the 17th the week after, and then the Pokemon Presents is out on the 22nd the week after that. So it makes sense for it to be next week. So hopefully we get one. But either way, that is the Nintendo Direct rumor that I wanted to go over. Let me know your thoughts on that. Leave a comment in the comment section down below. All the Nintendo Switch 2 Q&A stuff. What are your thoughts on the Gen 10 kind of like rumors and stuff, and then obviously the Pokemon Go events. But yeah, if you enjoyed the video, drop a like down below. Let's try and hit 500 likes. It really helps out. Like I say, leave a comment with anything that we covered in today's video. Subscribe if you're brand new. Ring the notification bell for daily Pokemon content. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and until next time, peace.